Hi, everyone, and welcome to your commentary for lesson number 32. I have invented the world I see. So, just like the previous lesson, remember the world is a mirror which reflects back what you believe. So, who are you seeing the world with? Are you seeing it with your ego who is holding you hostage, making you believe that you are a victim of the world you see, making you believe in lack, pain, suffering, death, loss, depression, anxiety, and victimhood? Or are you seeing it with the host of Holy Spirit, helping you to see the world through love, joy, happiness, and innocence, peace, guidance, bliss? And it all that's who you invent the world with. Either you invent the world with the ego or you invent the world with Holy Spirit. And I actually want to give you an personal parable that really illustrates this. So recently, our family car had broken down, and it's about $9,000 to fix, means we need a brand new engine. So we went over to the dealership that's actually right across the street from the garage. They had a special where you could, basically bring in your dead car and they would give you $2,000 for that car. And we went over there and we talked to a gentleman, and I was definitely seeing the world through the eyes of the ego in that moment because the gentleman seemed rude, disrespectful, like he didn't want to help us, like it was just not, that we were not worth his time because we didn't have a certain amount of money. And so I was definitely seeing the world through the eyes of the ego and seeing this person as they're taking something away from me, seeing loss, seeing people, basically we could say if they're not blessing you then they're cursing you. And so that's how I was seeing the world. So I had to come home, practice my lesson for the day, and be willing to see it differently, be willing to see it through the eyes of love, be willing to see that this gentleman was not there to curse me, but everyone is a blessing. So I really did my best to, over the weekend, because we weren't going to find anything out until Monday, to do just that. So I forgave, I let it go. I was, doing my best to forgive myself of my judgments and forgive this gentleman as well. And so then we went back to the dealership and, we sat down with him, and he was a completely changed person. He sat down with us. He's like, this is what I tried. I tried this. I tried this. But really, you need $7,000 down. And we said, well, unfortunately, we don't have that right now. Like, that's just not something that we have laying around, $7,000. And he was like, no, I completely understand. We can also try that. I tried this option too. And he went from arrogant, mean, disrespectful to kind, compassionate, seemed to just like want to basically give us the clothes off his back. And why did that happen? Because I invent the world I see. So instead of changing the form, instead of being like, well, I want a new person, I want a new representative, or I want this, or I want that, I needed to change my mind and I needed to ask for guidance. And that's exactly what I did. And in that moment, in asking for guidance and forgiving myself, in all of that, this beautiful, miracle occurred where I saw him differently and he showed up differently. Now, did the car get fixed? Did we get a brand new car? No, we didn't. But this has added miracles onto it because now, since the car is dead, we called the company that owns the car and they are willing to refinance, they're willing to do all this stuff for us to help us, basically pay for a car that no longer runs. And so it's just absolutely wonderful. And, it's just all of our payments are going to go down. And it really is a miracle. It really is a blessing. But that's because I'm seeing it with the eyes of Holy Spirit instead of with the eyes of the ego who would tell me, oh my God, this is terrible. This is awful. Now you can't do this. And now this is happening. Blah, 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 blah. Poor, poor, pitiful me. And I said, no, thank you to that. I am not a victim of the world I see because I am the one who invented the world. And if I want to see the world differently, I don't need to change the form. I need to change the content. Where does the content come from? My mind. I need to change who I'm seeing the world with, which I did, which now I see only blessings. So thank you so much for joining me for commentary on lesson number 32, and I look forward to seeing you in lesson number 33.